Video journal entry 6 for the year, 58 in total, June 30th, 2026. I gotta try to make this one quick because my iPhone is doing that thing that iPhones do where it swears you have no storage, and every time you delete storage, it just eats up that storage as well. But last month I said this month was gonna be a proper break, because last month I just dived into things after leaving my job. I didn't really give myself any rest, but I couldn't really properly rest this month either, because I felt like anytime I was seated or I tried to rest, I felt ashamed of myself. Like, I've already failed so much. What am I doing sitting down? Resting, how dare I rest? So I feel like I couldn't really even get a proper rest, even if I did nothing, because my mind would just run rampant and run wild with like a lot of different ideas and things, and a lot of just shame of myself. So I couldn't really get a proper rest. But I feel like I did have like a good handful of days where I think I kind of tried to rest. I think I mentioned this last month. I'm not sure if I did, but there was somebody on Facebook Marketplace selling some books. And essentially it was like, I guess they were kind of healing meditation books. And it focused a lot of like Buddhist ideas. And I was trying to read up on some more of those things. So I've been trying to meditate more this month to get my mind together, and kind of reel it back into place. I think the book, I like the concept of Buddhism so far. I wouldn't really be a Buddhist because a lot of religions and things have misogynistic ties, patriarchal ties, etc. But I do like the ideologies of it, because I think it's essentially like early studies of the mind. It was essentially the earlier forms of understanding how the mind works and different aspects. Like, it talks about how your mind goes in these cycles of these, throwing yourself in these tangents that cause you suffering in the end, etc. And there's just different things that you should do to kind of reel your mind back in, which I think is interesting. I'm reading up on some of that. I want to finish that book. So I have been trying to meditate some. I think it has been helping, but at the same time, I feel like I do have these days where it feels like nothing is helping and working. I have worked on some pieces. So much for freaking rest. I couldn't just sit still. No. I have worked on some pieces. I've started this collection. I'm starting this collection. I wanted to be display multi-medium. So I wanted to have some ceramic pieces. I don't know if you can see a couple that I have wrapped up behind me back there. So I want a total of 6 larger ceramic pieces, a few smaller pieces that are working in tandem with them. Then I want to do a handful of paintings. Do I know a lot about painting, bitch? No. But I want to do a handful of paintings. I want to do about 5 or 6 paintings. This is too much. What am I doing with myself? This is happy and stressed. This is why I have so many damn problems. But I'm gonna do as much as I can. And get that out the way. Like I said, I have the form for 4 of the larger pieces. I need to make the form for 2 more. And I need to finish up 2 pieces completely, then finish those last 2, etc. But that's where I'm at. I've also been working on this ceramic mask here. But this month, I think I'm thinking a lot about my visual presentation. I realized to myself that too often do I feel rushed to post, and sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to post something, and I try to put things together fast. It doesn't work out, and it's not really a cohesive vision that I really want for my visuals. So either I'm going to start doing the visuals this month, or I'm going to start the planning for those visuals this month to get like a really good visual representation of myself, of what I want to portray across all my platforms. I thought to myself, like, I think about who I am internally, and I realize I don't think that really presents externally. And I think in the society that we live in today, people really you have to kind of write things out, and people have to see things to really understand and want to get into things deeper. And I feel like the type of free-spirited person, etc., that I am, I don't know if that always presents itself visually. I keep thinking about like where I am right now in life, and I've been thinking about before I got into corporate, because I've been thinking about like when I was happier and I was more carefree and just didn't feel as stressed about the things that I was doing, versus like going through corporate where I feel like I just lost so much color and this vibrance. And then here I am now. What am I going to do? Where am I going to end up? I always wondered to myself, like, have I made the right choices? Should I have just kept pushing forward when I was at this like turning point after graduating college? And I was like, okay, I really need to make money. I was just started posting on YouTube more, and then I was like, I wanted to create, but I was like, this is not making me up income. So I was like, I need to make money. I need to learn something else. And I got into more of the corporate sphere of things like that. And I just ended up going this whole other route. And it makes me wonder, like, was that the right thing or not? Like, I'm happy it allowed me things like money to travel and be able to buy a house. But it also makes me wonder, like, if I would have just stuck down a certain path of creativity, would my earnings have even been exponentially more, because I was in a right alignment of what I was doing? Or who knows, I would have just been another poor artist. I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot. I'm not often the type that thinks about past in that type of negative context, but sometimes I just can't help but to think, like, have I done the right things, etc. It's weird. I feel like for a long time I didn't really had regrets and things like that, but it was like the past few years of like my mid-20s, I've started to have decisions that I like think about often. I feel like I'm usually the type of person that's like everything for a reason, but sometimes I've been thinking, like, have I been making the right choices, etc. Where am I at right now? But alas, I just want to get back to a good point. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to visually present myself. I'm going to try to storyboard the whole thing. I literally went thrifting today, and I picked up something for a video idea that I have for my music, of like a content style. I hope it works out well. I don't know, but we'll see. But I'm going to try to really lock down some things on the drawing board like I did for last month, how I operated last month. So kind of get some things scheduled out and just kind of crank those things out and see where I'm at the end of the month, look at my analytics, etc. And then the month after that, so what is that? August. So not July, it's August. After I finish my collection, everything, I'm just thinking about money. I don't want to be like the money person, but I can't rest. But I feel like I'm gonna like fall off of the deep end any second, because we're in a really crazy economic times. And I feel like every time my mind, one of my big goals is like to have that financial stability, but my mind always leans towards like the creativity, and I feel like my finances are like I'm like not going fast enough. I don't know why I want to cry. I feel like I'm not doing enough to like gain financial stability every time. I don't know why I'm crying. I don't know why I'm crying. I just want... I just want to be like a really good solid point career wise or like financially wise. I feel like if I'm like stable financially wise, but everything else really doesn't matter because I don't have to stress as much. I always have things that I want to achieve and like strive for, but I won't have to stress as much. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Gigi's birthday was this month. We went out and we had fun. And we made her a matching outfit for her birthday, and that was fun. I don't know why I'm crying. I wasn't even expecting to be crying. But yeah, that's how my month went. I'm gonna finish my collection this month, and then see where August goes. So that's it for me this month. Next month, I'm not gonna be crying like this. I don't know why I'm crying so much, but yeah, okay. See me next month. Bye.